What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated two-time heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, 30 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 21 wins by way of knockout. He's 31 years of age, stands at 6'9" with an 85-inch arm reach. With that said, Tyson Fury was scheduled to go into his highly anticipated trilogy match this upcoming Saturday in less than 48 hours against Olympic bronze medalist, former WBC American heavyweight world champion, superstar boxer, and rival Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. With that said, it was reported that Tyson Fury, he tested positive for the C-19 and the fight had to be postponed. And Tyson Fury, it was reported that Tyson Fury and his team, they suffered not just him, but an outbreak within his camp. And that Tyson Fury was going to not be able to carry on. Well, then we heard that it was an outbreak. Then we heard, there was reports that it was 9 to 10 people in his camp that tested positive. Then we heard that it wasn't his trainer, Sugar Hill. He tested negative. It wasn't his strength and condition coach. He tested negative. It wasn't his sparring partner, Big Baby Anderson. It wasn't Joseph Parker, former WBO heavyweight world champion, superstar boxer. It wasn't Joseph Parker. But they stated it was an outbreak. And the two names we most notable are Tyson Fury and heavyweight undefeated title contender, star boxer Efe Ajagba, who was scheduled to be on the undercard against Frank Sanchez as well. It was stated that Efe Ajagba tested positive. He was hospitalized for 1 day and then he was released. Then, just days later, we see Tyson Fury out and about at exotic car dealerships. Then we see him in the casinos taking pictures, no mask, no precautions. So now Tyson Fury is saying that he's gotten and felt a lot of pressure coming from people saying that he messed up the fight and that he simply was buying time to get ready because he wasn't ready. So Tyson Fury, he finally does an interview and he responds and he says he was more than ready for this fight July 24th. He says that he was ready to go into a showdown or undisputed showdown after he beat Deontay Wilder in December against fellow countryman, two-time unified heavyweight world champion, British superstar boxer Anthony Joshua. So Tyson Fury, he stated that, he was more than ready for this showdown July. Now, we heard that Tyson Fury was struggling in camp and that heavyweight heavyweight prospect, undefeated star boxer, Big Baby Jared Anderson, had been giving Tyson Fury troubles. And there was even reports that he had knocked out Tyson Fury on his feet. Well, now Tyson Fury, he's frustrated, right? So Tyson Fury is saying that, don't blame him. Tyson Fury says, and exposes it, and says, I keep a small camp, unlike all the other heavyweights. I only have, quote, 10 people in my camp, in my entire team. Rewind. He said, I only have 10 people in my entire camp. Only 10 people on my team. So how did they tell us it was an outbreak when his head trainer, who was one of the persons in his team, his strength and condition coach, 2 of his sparring partners, just to say the least, that's 4 guys on his team that tested negative. But they told us it was an outbreak between 9 or more people. Tyson Fury now is saying, don't blame him. He only has a total of 10 people on his entire team. Then get this. Tyson Fury says he was out and about taking the pictures at the car dealership and in the casinos because he was just happy to get some fresh air after being in quarantine. And he states that he stayed in quarantine 3 more days than the doctors recommended just to be safe and protect other people. But the time frame we got, that it was reported that They tested, and we had legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter, Bob Arum, in which the network he fights on, ESPN, they were reporting that they didn't know who all the people was in the camp that the outbreak was. And then they reported a few hours later that it was Tyson Fury. So they didn't know. So you was in quarantine for 17 days before ESPN and Top Rank knew that you tested positive. Y'all not hearing me. You was in quarantine for 17 days before Top Rank, your promotional company, Bob Arum himself, and ESPN, the biggest sporting platform in the world, worldwide leader in sports. You were in quarantine for 17 because it's required that you be in quarantine for at least 14 days. 10 to 14 days. So Tyson Fury is saying he stayed in longer than the doctors recommended, another 3 days to make sure he was good. So that would make for 17 days. That Tyson Fury was in quarantine before anybody, including his own promotional company and the network he fights on, got wind of what was taking place. Now, how could you have an outbreak and they said there's 9 or more people in your camp? Outbreak means it's just spreading wildfire, right? How could it be an outbreak and they report there's 9 or more people in the camp, and then Tyson Fury says he only has a total of 10 people in this camp, and majority of those people didn't test? They all tested negative outside of him and Efe Ajagba. And then Tyson Fury goes on to say, well, it's other sparring partners. Get this. It's other sparring partners that he has a revolving door. That other sparring partners, they coming and going inside his bubble. And he believes it came from one of them. Because he and his team didn't go outside of his newly built home and the bubble in which they train at. So you had more sparring partners than Joseph Parker, Efe Ajagba, Big Baby Anderson. Tyson Fury is saying that he had even more sparring. And Andy Lee. Andy Lee is one of his coaches, right? Who's his cousin as well. Andy Lee tested negative as well. So you had Andy Lee, his cousin, who's his co-trainer, right? Assistant trainer. You had his head trainer, his strength and condition coach, 2 of his sparring partners, 3 of his sparring partners. That's 6 people. There's only 4 more people. So there was only 2 other people outside of Tyson Fury and Efe Ajagba that could have tested positive. Because they told us it was 10 or more, 9 or more people. He said it's only 10 people in his entire camp to begin with. He says he's not like all these other heavyweights that need all of these other people hanging around, hanger-oners. So he's stating that there's only 10 people in his entire camp, including himself. Or not including himself, making it 11. But they said it was 9 or more people. And now Tyson Fury is saying, well, the fact is, he has a revolving door of sparring partners that just come and go. How many sparring partners does Tyson Fury have? He says their sparring partners changing every other day. Where are they finding all these heavyweights to spar Tyson Fury? And if you have Efe Ajagba, Joseph Parker, Big Baby Anderson, and those 3 guys, and a few more that were notable in camp, why do you add on more? I've never heard of any fighter having 10 sparring partners. So how many sparring partners does Tyson Fury have? And how was he in quarantine for 17 days without Top Rank, Bob Arum, and ESPN being notified? Because when the picture surfaced, it wasn't even 3 days after we got this news. Wasn't even 3 days. So now he's saying that he stayed 3 days longer than the required amount of days that the doctors had informed him to stay in quarantine. This every day, the exposure, the curtain is being lifted on this story every single day. Every single day, the story for this, the curtain is being lifted. Every day. It's unfortunate. It's clear. July 9th is the day we got all this news. And then July 11th and 12th, we got pictures surfacing. So that's just 3 days later. And Tyson Fury said he was in quarantine an extra 3 days longer than the required amount of days that they informed him that he should be in. So the required amount is 10 to 14 days. That means he stayed in quarantine for 17 days. Top Rank and Bob Arum was unaware. And then he says he only has a total of 10 fighters in his camp in total. But they told us it was 9 or more fighters that tested positive. Then he said he has a revolving door of sparring partners, and that's he believes it came from. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all we got for y'all. Peace.
Hey, this is Ebony Bridges, Blonde Bomber, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.